What is going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo. Like you didn't know that already. Somebody else talks like that. Who is it? Oh yeah, Adeline. Adeline's Horror. Go check out her channel. She's cool. For a kid, she's cool. I am doing today a review that I've been promising for over a year, honestly. This review is dedicated to the person who sent me the movie to watch over a year ago. A man who I kind of consider to be, even though he wasn't the first person to sign up when I created the Patreon, I kind of consider him my first Patreon. I also consider him my first real big fan that wasn't a friend of mine. And he is now a friend of mine. This is a person who really believes in me for some reason. Still haven't figured out quite why yet. And he's just an honest, all-around good guy. And his name is Scott Berland, and he is one of my consiglieres. And he's just an awesome dude. So this review goes out to you, Scott. I hope you enjoy it. I know it's been a long time coming, and I still have a couple others I need to do for you. It's not Atros. I almost did Atros or Atros or however it's said. But I didn't want to watch anything that dark yesterday. I wanted to watch something light. Something breezy. I wanted to watch MASH. But my DVD player was being weird and it didn't want to play the disc. So I popped in Bait, the Blu-ray that you sent me, from 2012. Now Bait is directed by Kimball Rendell and stars Xavier Samuel as Josh and Shirley Vinson as Tina. Our story is that a tsunami hits a small coastal town in Australia during a great whale migration. Well, these whales just happen to be followed by a group of great white sharks that are hunting, and the tsunami carries these great white sharks into a local grocery store, where a group of people is trapped.
That had to be 5 feet.
What had to be 5 feet?
6.
6? What do you mean 6?
6 feet from the tip of the dorsal to the tip of the tail.
So what the hell does that mean?
It means there's a 12-foot great white shark in here.
Now, I know that sounds like a very weird concept to a lot of people. It makes it sound like just another cheesy shark movie. And in a way it is, but in a way it's not. It's not really that cheesy, and if you really think about it, the premise is pretty believable. Kind of like the premise to Crawl. You know, we got Crawl last year. It's basically the same thing, just with great whites instead of alligators. 3 animated sharks were actually created for the filming of this movie, and the director did not want to use any CGI sharks. But because the producers wanted the movie in 3D, and due to a few budget constraints, but mostly because of the shots that were needed, they didn't have any choice but to use some CGI sharks. And you can definitely tell the difference between the CGI sharks and the animatronic sharks, or even the live shark footage. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. I think they did a really decent job. It was a lot of fun. You can tell that the CGI sharks were just for those 3D shots, and it does work in that respect. It's not terrible looking. I've seen way worse. A sequel was actually planned to this movie. It was supposed to take place on a downed plane in the middle of the ocean. But due to some similarities between that and the Malaysian Flight 370 incident, they decided to scrap the sequel in the name of good taste. Now, this is a joint Australian and Singaporean film, and that's quite a combination. I think they did a really good job, though. This movie is rated about 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, who gives a shit about Rotten Tomatoes? Something else I wanted to say, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If you take your cues on how good a movie is off of Rotten Tomatoes or any critic site, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry, but Rotten Tomatoes is so full of shit, it's not even funny. So, let's get into pros and cons. My one con for the film is, even though I said that the CGI sharks did not look terrible, some of the CGI in name of 3D does look a little wonky. And it's not so much the sharks as it is the other effects. Like underwater, there's an eel swimming and it comes right at you, and then there is a school of fish that gets in the grocery store and they come right at you. And it just looked, you could definitely tell that they interjected some big CGI in there. And it looks kind of wonky. Like I said, with the sharks, it didn't bother me so much because they were going for that 3D look, and I get that. It's fine. And like I said, we've seen lots of very bad shark CGI over the years with a lot of these shark films. This one I really did enjoy, so I'm going to get into my pros on it. One of my pros is I like the story development, not just between what happens with the sharks and the tsunami, because it is kind of a simplistic story. But we have character development. We actually get to know our characters. We like our characters. At least I did. We root for our characters. We want to see what happens to these people. And we want them to get away, for the most part. There's a few of them that were just douchebags. I wanted to die. But that's part of it. That's part of the character development. The story development is the story does evolve. And the characters evolve during the story and find out that they can be more than they thought they were. And that's the marks of pretty decent writing, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it's not cheesy. There is some pretty cheesy moments. And I do believe they are intentionally cheesy. I almost rated this a con, but it's not, because I had so much fun with it that I didn't view it as a negative. Our main character, Josh, towards the end of the film, all of a sudden he turns into fucking Rambo. I mean, and I actually listed this as a single pro. He even does a hero dive. You know how in action movies when the hero jumps across, he's like bam, 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 and he's shooting? Well, Josh does the same thing with this one. He does a backwards hero dive, and he's got the shotgun, and he's like, and I just like, man, what the fuck? And then at the end, he is like scaling the building, and he puts his legs up, and he falls down upside down with the weapon. I'm not going to say which kind of weapon, and he lets off a shot. Obviously, it's some sort of firearm, I guess. But like I said, I did enjoy those aspects of it. Even though, yes, they were a bit cheesy, it was just so much fun. And that is a big pro for me. Just that this movie's a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's got some heartfelt parts, but it's not so overly drenched in those that you care. When we finished the movie, my wife said it was better than Jaws. Now, I wouldn't go quite that far, because Jaws is like Jaws, but it is a lot of fun. I did really enjoy the movie. I had a blast with it, guys. Like I said, we get some CGI shark action. We get some, CGI blood, but we also get some really good practical blood and kill and gore and body part effects, and it looks amazing. They actually did a really great job. There's this great scene where there's a body being chewed up by the animatronic shark, and it looks gruesome. It looks so bad. I mean, not like bad isn't bad, but bad isn't good. But it looks so disgusting. It looks so real. I love that we get these practical gore effects in this CGI heavy film. I thought the sharks looked really decent. I think that the animatronic sharks looked really good. They were really nice to look at. Now, I mean, obviously you can tell the difference between an animated shark, a CGI shark, an animatronic shark, and a real shark. Okay? Come on. We all could tell that Bruce wasn't real. I mean, come on. Let's not kid ourselves. But it still looked really good when it was standing still. These ones looked pretty decent while they were moving. And I really did like the movement of the sharks. I liked the way they were puppeted. I enjoyed watching these sharks in action. It was a very good effort on the behalf of the special effects department. One of the things that I thought was cool about this movie is there is another situation going on in the grocery store prior to the tsunami. And then when the tsunami hits, before the shark thing ever starts, the tsunami actually gives us some really good non-shark related kills. And it looked, some of them were CGI, but they were just fun, and it was just fun to watch. It was like, oh, damn, oh, did you see that? That kind of thing. And I just had a blast with it. I really did enjoy this movie. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, shark films, nature films in general, are one of my least favorite horror genres. But I've been watching a lot of them lately and getting more into some of them. And this one, I think it knew that it was not to be taken completely serious, but it didn't just go all out for the joke. It didn't go all out to be cheesy and stupid. It took itself serious enough to make the movie good. Now, a lot of these shark movies we get, they just go all out for the absurd. And it works. It does work for a lot of them. Some of them it doesn't. But with this one, they really rode that line, and they rode it well between absurd and serious. And it meshed wonderfully, and it really did work. I truly appreciated it, and I truly did enjoy this movie. I want to thank Scott so much for sending this to me. And guys, he does have a channel of his own. He doesn't put up a lot of stuff. He's very busy lately. But he does put up he does put up videos. He's into Porsches, he's into things like that, and he's done a couple movie reviews. So go and check out his channel. I'll put the link at the end of the video. And check out the Horror Mob, guys. This is not his official entry. In fact, he hasn't requested one officially yet. I just wanted to do this for him because I wanted to watch the movie. I've been meaning to do this for a long time now. And thanks to Scott, I have a lot more movies than I used to have. I mean, a lot of people send me movies now, but Scott was one of the first. And he was one of the people that just wasn't really a YouTuber. He was just kind of watched, and he became a fan, and he really believed in me. And I really do appreciate that. So Scott, I hope you enjoyed this review. And I definitely hope that one of these days we will get Bait Part 2. Well, guys, I'm on my lunch, and later today I have to go over to Bill's, and we are going to be starting the Hellraiser franchise. So I don't know if you'll see this video before that video or after that video, but either way, you're going to enjoy it. At least I hope you will. This is Bronco Juggalo saying thank you to everybody who subscribed. Thank you to all of my Patreons. You guys rock. And thank you to all my friends and family out there. Peace.
Sometimes you just gotta ignore your enemies. Sometimes you just gotta make them bleed. I've hated up to here with all the fake shit. Fake friends huddled up, that's a snake pit. King Kong about to rumble on some ape shit. Stab you with some scissors, call it